Alright guys, today we're going offshore fishing. Hopefully we can find some wahoo, going out far to the ledge, maybe some bottom fish. So we'll see what we can catch. Stay tuned. We're heading offshore this morning, nice and early. We got a long ride ahead of us, 60 miles out to roughly the ledge. We're heading out south to what they call the tuna patch. Got some good reports that they're catching some wahoo there. Brought our bottom rods as well, so we're gonna see what we can find. We start the morning off trolling. We put out our high-speed gear, and we also put out that little C&H rattle jet as well, way up in the T-top. And wouldn't you know it, before we can even really get started trolling, we have a fish on. You want to bring us down to idle for a second?
Is it on the rattle jet?
Can't tell if it's fish on it or if it's just...
Something's on it, or a valve or something. Like a fish?
I don't know, it's right on the surface, whatever it is.
I think that's got to be the smallest kingfish we've ever caught, isn't it?
Finger.
That's what I thought Spanish mackerel better than that, hadn't you?
And we get a little kingfish. It's kind of funny, you know, they got sharp teeth and we only had mono on that rig, but he didn't bite us off, so that's pretty cool. So that's a good way to start the day off, you know. It's kind of what I like about that lure. It's caught about everything. Skipjack, dolphin, bonita, kingfish, you know. I guess whatever's out there it'll catch so far. Haven't got a wahoo on it yet, but I'm sure it'll probably happen at some point if it don't get cut off. So we get the kingfish in the boat, good sign, put our trolling gear out and start trolling again. Got the high speeds going and we're marking some numbers. It's a really good looking area. We found a lot of good bottom structure and there's a lot of bait marking. We trolled around working this area and finally we get a hit. It was kind of weird though, because at first it kind of like, kind of hit it, and then it kind of stopped. Well, there we go. That's fish. Don't know what fish. That's a big old sea bass. I've seen it do that. There we go. So I don't know if it missed it, and then all of a sudden it came back and kind of hit it, and you get like zzz, 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 and then zzz. So it was kind of a weird bite. You know, that's not usually how the wahoo I've had, you know, hit our high-speed lures will bite the lure. Unfortunately though, that fish came off. I'm not sure if because it bit in such a funny way, if it ever really got hooked up well. We kept the boat going, you know, after the hookup for a little while to make sure that hook was set, but I don't know if he got off right before the boat or somewhere in the fight. You know, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. You know, you got a big heavy lure and a big torpedo weight. So it's, you know, not being on the fish, it's hard to tell, you know, what exactly happened. Yeah, you want to turn us back? Area looks real good. Seen a lot of bait. Beautiful seas. So hopefully we'll find something soon. So we headed further out east to the ledge. Got to the ledge, trolled that a while, but no luck. So, you know, no luck on the trolling. We wanted to take a little break, do some more bottom fishing. We found a little bit of markings at the ledge and we dropped down on that, but we never really got into the fish good over there. So we're kind of like, hey, you know, back where we got that wahoo bite, we marked a lot of good bottom in there further inshore. So we picked up and ran inshore and started dropping down again. That spot was really well for us. We were catching some pinks and triggers. We weren't catching a lot of beeliners like the time before, but the triggers and the porgy were doing pretty good. Crazy thing, not really a surprise though, is we were catching a ton of red snapper. I had my double hook rig and sometimes I was pulling up 2 red snapper at a time. Think the snapper just move in and take over?
Must be. I'll get one on.
I get one on. Definitely got one. I think I got him. Yeah.
Kind of weird. What?
I got a red and a trigger.
Oh man. Jeez. Dang, I might have a snapper on this one. Snapper and a trigger.
Yeah. Big old snapper.
Yeah, pretty decent. You'd think if there's this much activity on the bottom, then predator fish should be Oh dang. Did your rod break?
Yeah.
Man.
On that big snapper and trigger.
Is it working out for you guys?
It's kind of funny because those are supposed to be like what, 130 pound class.
Hey, it's a nice trigger.
There we go. Double header. It's coming up.
Hey, what's that? What's that?
That mutton?
Yeah. One of them to keep. I'm not sure about it. This is what we should have been doing earlier.
Well, we caught triggers good at the ledge before,
I know.
but yeah. What we were doing with that is mainly drifting it. The good thing was, because today was so calm, we were able to do like a nice slow drift and work the area. We didn't really have to anchor. You can, but sometimes I feel like the fish move, you know, so sometimes I like to drift, you know, rather than stay in one spot. You just got to try it either way. You know, if you're catching them on the drift, keep drifting. If you can anchor on them and they stay there, then even better. And if they're not there, if you're anchored for a little while, you know, pick up and move or start drifting again. We were using the basic kind of chicken rigs, as they call it. Had the bank sinker on the bottom, and it had a double hooks, fairly light, about 50-pound leader. And the hooks are small, they're like a little 4-owner circle hook. You know, we're not catching big snapper. I mean, we are catching big snapper, but if I was specifically trying to catch big snapper, I would use a bigger hook. But since we're catching smaller triggers, which have small mouths, and porgy and potentially beeliners, we go with the smaller hooks and they work really well. We used a variety of bait, you know, whether it be some of our old cut bait, some of our pogies, little grunts, stuff like that, mostly dead cut bait. And it worked pretty well, you know, you catch fish pretty good on that. Some of the cut baits work a little better because they're a little tougher. Some of those pogies and, you know, sardines, cigar minnows, stuff like that, they tend to get real soft and they don't stay on the hook well. One thing to pay attention when you are bottom fishing and catching these fish with these little hooks, you know, because they are small and they have a really fine, sharp tip, you gotta watch that tip. I had one hook where the tip just got a little bit bend inward, and that can really hurt your hookup ratio pretty good. You gotta have that sharp tip. So keep an eye out for that. You know, if you're getting bites but you stop hooking up, check your hook. Could have gotten bent slightly in or out. That tip could have been bent or broke off. You know, watch for that and just, you know, switch it out. You know, with our rigs, you can usually just cut the hooks off, tie a new one on once or twice before it gets too short, and then you need to put a whole new rig on. So we did that, a lot of fun, caught some good bottom fish, and we're like, hey, you know what, we're kind of tired from catching all those bottom fish. You know, that's deep fishing, a lot of reeling, heavy weights, a lot of fish, and our arms were tired, and we're like, let's get back on the troll again. You know, maybe that afternoon bite's about to pick up. So I started trolling the area again. I had like 3 numbers kind of within a mile that I trolled earlier when we got the hit. And I was actually trolling in between these spots, kind of in the middle of them, away from the actual bottom numbers and the bait we were marking. And that's when we got a hit on our cowbell lure.
Ready? Go get that, man.
Thanks.
Mark it. Just steady reel.
Gets to the point where you just get mad at the fish. Gets to the point where you just get mad at the fish. Yeah. Alright, you ready? We're getting close. You got it, you ready? Let's keep on real. Real. Ready? Yeah.
Alright, just hold it right there. If he runs, I gotta let go, so.
Come on. Oh yeah.
Nice fish.
Come on. Oh yeah. Oh! There we go. Ah, he's killing me. Wahoo came up. I gaffed him in the head. He still had some fight in him, and he wasn't a huge Wahoo, but he was a nice Wahoo, and he was giving me a little bit of hard time trying to get him in the boat, you know, trying to work me a little bit, but got him in the boat. It felt really good. Nice Wahoo, first Wahoo of 2019, so we're pretty excited about that. Gotta have more cowbell, right? The Wahoo is fun to catch. You know, them guys are just such a blast. When you hear that line screaming, you know, big reel, when it's making a big reel like that scream, you know you got a fun fight ahead of you. Troll the area some more, but no more fish, unfortunately. Nice cool day, kind of cloudy. So overall, you know, we had a great time. Got a good time trying for Wahoo, catching that nice one, and catching all those bottom fish. Hope you guys learned some stuff. If you got any questions about what we did or what we're using, by all means, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll see you guys next time.